Seeking beauty in imperfection. How letting go of perfectionism helped me finally start writing. I literally get obsessed with only writing the best quality, with flawless sentences without any mistakes at all. I started everything the first days of 2018. Then I really got into it and published some of the texts I already had written ahead of Thinkerstream. Most of them are in German, and I am way better writing in German. I fell in love with perfecting the idea of these abstract texts I wanted to produce, converting thoughts I had and still have from day to day and sculpting them into these beautiful and eloquent texts. But I never wrote them. I got obsessed with the idea of a weekly schedule, publishing every Monday at 4 a.m. It kind of worked for a few weeks, but then it all fell apart when I ran out of material, cause I couldn't convince myself that everything I wrote wasn't just dumb crap. That needed to be polished to its bones just to have the right to stand straight next to the texts I previously published. I ran out of time, but of course that's only a problem of changing the priority game. Of course, I could just publish stuff I already wrote, but then the idea already was used, already would have been seen, and then if I wanted to improve it, it wouldn't be new anymore, not interesting enough. It didn't get me anywhere, obviously. Nothing got made for a few months. Until today, until this. It's a new start. An English start. Today I saw my first comment on one of my texts. Months ago I saw that my pages had a few views, but honestly I didn't believe that someone would read my crap. And maybe it's just some good friend of mine who wants to push me a little bit more, but honestly it doesn't even matter. It's the old game we play with ourselves every single day. At least I think everyone does, cause I do every day. In everything we do, we seek perfection. Wanna make everything as well as possible. Just a little bit more, just this little tweak here and there, and then it will be finished. To state that this is just a dumb thinking that keeps us from doing useful stuff, I think is underestimating the power that lies therein, is not giving this thought the attention and especially the appreciation it really deserves. Cause this thought is what creates all great things there are, gives us the motivation to always be one step ahead, to always iterate to the next version. It created science, it created art, still does. It makes the difference in living your life, not caring about anything, and asking questions like the biggest philosophers in the world's history. I got pretty big there, I know. But as with almost anything, there is also a very dark side to this simple thought. Just think of all the thoughts mankind never wrote down or did tell anyone, cause the thought that it wasn't worth it, that there was no value in it, tore them apart, that the things and ideas in their heads were just crap no one would care about. All ideas were lose. We lose every single second. We lose every single second just because everyone thinking the simple destructive thought that probably no one would give a shit. I can't even describe it, cannot even find words for this shame. But to save us all, there is a cure at the end of the tunnel. It's called imperfection. And just describing it isn't even that hard. It's just a matter of cutting a thread of thoughts about a topic at one point, and then there comes the hardest part, throwing it out there, throwing it into the world. It doesn't even come close to perfect, but that's not the point. The point is that we ourselves must recognize the exact point where our striving to only make perfect things just keeps us from making things at all. And this is a point that cannot be generalized, cause for most folks out there, it starts somewhere else. Do still strive for perfection, but set yourself limits. And once you reach the limit, there is no turning back, cause then you should know that this is the point where you only betray yourself if you keep your ideas back from another polish. Cause you probably will always keep them back. Forever. It's about analyzing and recognizing our own behavioral patterns and improving upon our findings. It happens again and again. It even did when I just wrote this. I just wanted to leave it there, because I thought I started with a good idea, but then the thought I got lost in between the lines I wrote. I realized that my English writing is probably 5 times slower than my German, and 5 times shittier, that this idea got nowhere near I had imagined it could have been. I just wanted to shut it down for now. The rational voice in my head started to ring the "then you probably won't ever finish it" alarm bell, but I told the bell to shut down. Of course, I wouldn't throw this idea completely away, only improve it a little bit more before showing it to the world. But I got over it, and so can you. Because if you give in to too much to the seek for perfection, you never produce anything. Think of all the cool thoughts and ideas we lose every single second, every minute, every hour, every day. There is this one thought that helps really. I know that it isn't true, but that's not the point, because if you only believe strong enough that it is, then it will help you be the bridge that helps you staying with your ideas and pushing further. It goes like this: you can always change it later on without any damage whatsoever. Of course, it isn't true at all, but it doesn't matter, because it makes you more effective in reaching for the things you dream of doing, in making things happen. I didn't want to be this text here turn out to sound like self-help advice, and I am guilty of even trying to tell you what you have to do. I hate these people. You should never take advice from someone who isn't better and has more experience in the topic he gives you advice in, or pretending to be. And I almost certainly am not better in this specific topic. It's a tie there, and I don't know how to break it. I got really personal with this. I didn't want to. I wanted to write about the abstract idea of finding your ideal point on the two extreme ends of either perfection or imperfection. I am not content at all with the stuff I wrote here. But does it even matter?